nowadays, like, I just can't keep track of every name anymore, especially now.
No,
Well,
no,
I
you're
like
right.
your version better because the idea of fighting a forge could be kind of interesting. I don't know.
Actually, I don't know. That also might be very one-sided. I think the Forge wins.
Yeah, we could build a forge in your backyard and fight it and see what happens. You first. You first.
But that's pretty much how I got my game on this week. And I'm going to pass the torch on to Frank.
Cool. Let's burn it all down. Oh.
Yay!
All right. So we'll start with my group of adventurers that I have every Sunday at Pathfinder. And I don't really talk about it too much. Well, I kind of talk about it, but I am a venture captain in the LA Orange County area. And so I have a lot of Pathfinder modules and such. And so this is kind of my home game. And it's, well, not kind of, this is my home game that we're doing that we started since quarantine on a group called Quarantine Tabletop. And so our daring adventures got knocked out this time, got completely knocked out.
They got wiped?
They got wiped. Basically, they were fighting skeletons, but the skeletons were skeleton champions, which I don't know if you know the stats on them but through Pathfinder, but basically they're DR5 bludgeoning, which means you have to do 5 damage bludgeoning, not anything else. So magic's not getting through. It has to be, and the way that DR works is it takes off 5. So like if you hit
Right.
7, then that's 2 damage that went through. So, and just for whatever reason, dumb luck or whatever, they didn't have any clubs or even a staff. A staff would have done it. But,
Right. No one had anything that had blunt damage to it.
right, exactly. And
Just
so
good old Betsy and good old Nancy. Put up your dukes.
right. Yeah, someone tried that. I was like, okay, but here's the thing. You're going to do -4. So you'll hit. And yeah, you're doing bludgeoning, but you're doing 1 point of damage, if that. And like it's minus, like I said, it's a minus to hit too. So your chances of hitting were really bad. Also, their AC 19. So the idea of punching them, not the best idea. Because if you're going unarmed and you're not a monk, then, you know, your hit is going to be...
Right, and it sounds like it would actually, you're running up to, like, something that's completely armored and punching it. Like, shouldn't that hurt you?
It should, but it doesn't by the rules, but it's not going to do much damage, and you are putting yourself up next to it. And that's not the best plan.
It's like,
Also,
I run up to
they were
the
hitting for
wall.
7.
I punch the wall. The wall hurts me. I take 2d damage.
They were hitting, and then the skeletons hit for +7 on their attack, and it was a D8 +3 as far as their damage. So yeah, these were some tough customers, and there were 7 of them. And basically, what happened, like the session before, is they were like, hey, we have some things we want to do, want to collect some things, but I knew the skeletons were down there, and I'm like, well, okay. But if you want to collect some things, you can do it next session, because I knew that fight was going to go for a little bit. And it did. It went for about an hour. Maybe actually, no, that was like most of the session, maybe 3 hours. And they got knocked out. And luckily they have this NPC who's an Archon. And he just basically went, okay, now I'm gonna cast Circle of Protection Evil. You guys aren't going to attack at all anymore. And I'm going to go about my business. I'm going to drag my buddies into this boat that I found, and I'm going to leave. Because you can't touch me, because I've got a Circle of Protection Evil. So I'm just going to use that. And yeah, it's a little more cowardly than I probably would generally use. And honestly, like from a Celestial, it might be out of character a little bit. But, you know, I had to throw them a bone.
Right. If you want to keep the game going.
Right. So then when they got to the shore, after figuring out how to get to the shore, figuring out how the compass worked and everything, found out, and this is interesting, if you have any levels of survival, you have automatic knowledge of which way north is, according to the book. So that was interesting. So
that's actually a really cool little fact.
Right. So we found that out, and so then we just went. They went to the port, but they were interlopers, and
Interlopers.
yeah, they were from another land, and so the guards were not happy they were there. And they were like, you're going to have to spend the night in jail until we sort this all out. And I may have enacted some of the things that have happened in the news with police and these guards. So.
Oh, no.
And
not having a good time.
Swearing was involved and such.
Someone's neck leaned on?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
We didn't go there.
All right.
All right, so that was that, and then they got to the point where they were the Pathfinder. Now, I gotta say, and this is a complaint, is if your DM is like, hey, these are the times, so how long is this going to be? And you have a conversation about it the last, maybe 30, 45 minutes, then don't go back on it, because that's really frustrating, because it's just like I asked about time, and then you're